Of course, you already know that Icon of the Seas is the world's largest cruise ship, but there's a lot more to Icon of the Seas that you probably don't know. We've sailed on the ship twice and have put together our expert tips and tricks that we wish we knew before sailing on Icon of the Seas. That way, you're one step ahead of everyone else on board. Up next. Welcome aboard, cruisers. I'm Don B from Eat, Sleep, Cruise, where we help you see the world one port at a time. Of course, if you have any questions about sailing on Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, or just cruises in general, please leave them in the comment section below as we answer every single question. Even if you've sailed on other Royal Caribbean mega ships, it will take a bit to get your bearings straight on Icon of the Seas, as the layout is completely different. We suggest you review the deck plans prior to your sailing, or you can check out our complete Icon of the Seas ship tour and walkthrough right here on YouTube. And then on embarkation day, explore the different areas. This will ensure you don't miss out on anything, as it feels like some venues are actually hidden. For instance, it takes some maneuvering to find Absolute Zero, the new ice rink, which can only be accessed by walking through Playmakers. Likewise, the kids and teens areas are found nearby as well, so you actually have to walk through certain venues to get to these public areas, which is different than most Royal Caribbean cruise ships. Likewise, on Icon of the Seas, the Royal Promenade is much larger and now 2 stories. Here you'll find some new venues along with some that have been relocated. For example, the Attic Comedy Club and Giovanni's Italian Kitchen are now located in the promenade. It also takes some navigation to find the casino. Now you can enter the casino forward or aft on deck 4, or you can find the somewhat hidden escalator on deck 5 in the promenade that is in between some plants and the 1400 lobby bar. Heidi and I are fans of traditional dining. Our usual nighttime routine includes dinner and a show. But over the years, we have seen mega ships make these traditional dining times less appealing to us, as they usually have one early time that can be somewhere as early as 5 to 5:30, and then one later time between 8 and 8:30. So on our Icon of the Seas cruises, we actually chose My Time Dining. With My Time Dining, dining is available from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily on Deck 3 on Icon of the Seas. Cruisers with My Time Dining can make reservations pre-cruise for each day of their cruise at different times. But of course, you can just walk up at any time between those designated hours and go standby when you have My Time Dining. However, what we did learn is instead of your typical early and late seating for traditional dining, Icon of the Seas actually has 4 different dinner times. The Deck 4 main dining room has traditional dining at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., and the Deck 5 dining room has a 5 p.m., 6:45 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. seatings. So this does give cruisers even more options. Personally, 5 p.m. is too early for us, and 8 p.m. is too late. So we love the addition of the 6:45 time slot. Similar to the Oasis class, you do need to make reservations for the shows on Icon of the Seas. And as always, we recommend you make your reservations pre-cruise as soon as they become available in the cruise planner on Royal Caribbean's website or in the Royal Caribbean app. For us, the Aqua Theater shows are some of the best productions at sea. And while you do need reservations for these signature productions, seating is first come, first served. Thus, one of our tips is to scope out your ideal seats early. Prior to the show, staff will come around to scan your SeaPass card to ensure you do have a reservation. Now, no, you won't be able to sneak into the show this way, as if you don't have a reservation, you will be asked to leave. So instead of queuing with all the other cruisers who show up 30 to 45 minutes before showtime, you can show up an hour, hour and a half before, get the ideal seats, and then grab drinks from a couple of the nearby bars, including the Overlook Bar or our new favorite, the Ryan Bean. It might surprise some cruisers to learn that there's no photo gallery or shore excursions desk on Icon of the Seas. In fact, if you look at the deck plans on Royal Caribbean's website, you won't find either public venue anywhere. But this doesn't mean they don't actually exist. Royal Caribbean has just reimagined how guests purchase photos as well as book shore excursions on Icon of the Seas. And while this is primarily done through the Royal Caribbean app, there is still a location you can go to get some help from crew members. Tucked away behind the Pearl on Deck 5 is a hybrid shore excursion and photo gallery desk. But these were completely different than any other Royal Caribbean ship. On Icon of the Seas, you now view and order all your photos within the app. The same is true with booking shore excursions. That's done primarily through the app as well. Even if you do want to speak to representatives in person, you need to use the app. You actually have to enter a virtual queue. When it's your turn in line to speak to someone, you'll receive a push notification to return to the shore excursion or photo gallery desk. Of course, one of those big enhancements to Icon of the Seas was a Category 6 Waterpark. But just be advised, the Category 6 Waterpark isn't for everybody. In fact, we were denied entry on one of the slides because we did not meet the requirements. The Category 6 Waterpark is home to 6 slides and 5 unique attractions. These water slides include 2 body slides, 2 family raft slides, and 2 mat racing slides. Cruisers must be 52 inches tall to ride the body slides, the pressure drop, or frightening bolt. To compete against family and friends on the Storm Chaser mat racing duo slides, riders must be at least 48 inches tall. Likewise, all family members must be at least 48 inches tall to ride the Hurricane Hunter or the Storm Surge family raft slides. There are weight restrictions too. The 2 body slides and the mat duo racing slides have a weight restriction of 300 pounds. And yes, they do weigh you in before every ride. Each of the family raft slides have different weight requirements. The Storm Surge, the green suspended raft slide, has a maximum weight restriction of 441 pounds with up to 3 riders. Likewise, Hurricane Hunter, the pink raft ride, has a maximum weight restriction of 595 pounds with up to 4 riders. We are all about discovering hidden gems. And Royal Caribbean recently released a brand new offering across all its ships, Sea Day Brunch. So of course, it's also available on Icon of the Seas. But unlike competitors like Carnival Cruise Line, Sea Day Brunch doesn't happen on every sea day. This occurs on the first sea day and is distinct from the other days of the sailing, which offer breakfast and or lunch. This menu is a hybrid of breakfast and lunch items. It includes dishes like a cheese plate, potato soup, omelets, pancakes, and more. Brunch is typically available from 8:30 a.m. to noon on Deck 3 in the main dining room, and there's no additional charge for this meal. It's a perfect way to start your cruise if you choose to sleep in a bit on that first sea day. Royal Caribbean is always looking for ways to innovate, and they've done that with all aspects of Icon of the Seas. Even the app has new features to streamline processes so you can spend more time enjoying the ship and less time in line. For instance, there's a new chat feature where you can ask questions instead of waiting in line at guest services. This AI-based virtual assistant is the first line of defense, but someone on board from guest services is also monitoring and will reply when needed. The days of disconnected cruising are in the past. Regardless of whether or not you want to disconnect from the outside world while on vacation, you'll likely still use your smartphone. Although you'll probably still have other devices like earbuds, tablets for the kids, or maybe even laptops that will need to stay powered. Luckily, there are several spots around Icon of the Seas with outlets for charging such devices. The Pearl Cafe and the Overlook in the Aqua Dome are 2 such places. So you can relax with a view and maybe even grab a snack or a drink while you let your devices charge. This eliminates the need of having to return to your stateroom to charge them. Of course, we always bring a portable power bank as well, especially when going ashore. Icon of the Seas introduced several new cabin options for Royal Caribbean cruisers, including perhaps one of the most controversial cabin types in all of cruising, the infinite balcony cabin. So yes, not all balcony cabins are created equal on Icon of the Seas. So before you book your cruise, make sure you know all the cabin categories and subcategories. This will ensure you pick the right one for your travel party. If you are looking for balcony cabins, you'll have the choice between ocean view balconies, so looking to the exterior of the ship. Then there are central park view balconies and surfside family view balconies, which actually have views of the interior of the ship, along with those infinite balconies. Personally, we prefer a traditional balcony when compared to an infinite balcony. Thus, we stayed in ocean view balconies during our sailings on Icon of the Seas. But it really all comes down to your personal preferences and your budget, because of course, those ocean view true balcony cabins are more expensive. Along with those new cabin types, there are several new dining options also on Icon of the Seas. But you need to be careful because not all the items at these eateries are included in the cruise fare. Among our personal new favorites is the Aqua Dome Market. We also are fans of the upgraded menu at the Pearl Cafe, as well as the poolside bites at the Surfside Bites. The Aqua Dome Market is a new food hall serving up gyros, mac and cheese, small Asian dishes, crepes, and more. The Pearl Cafe is an evolution of the Cafe Promenade, serving elevated breakfast, lunch, and even to-go items throughout the day. These to-go items are actually found at a few other venues, making it much easier to grab a quick bite to eat throughout the day. Surfside Bites is a new takeout window in the family neighborhood, serving up popcorn, chicken, burgers, and churros. Then there's Base Camp, which offers snacks like pretzel bites, tater tots, or a hot dog. But this venue also has upcharge items like a burger, cheese curds, and even a grilled chicken sandwich, which honestly really should be included in the cruise fare. So just be careful when you go to some of these new eateries, as you might be surprised if they try to charge you for some of the food. Now, along with the addition of new complimentary dining options, there are also a few new specialty dining options. Pier 7 in the Surfside neighborhood is one of them. This casual restaurant has a beachside vibe that's perfect for families. The venue serves brunch and dinner with an a la carte menu, featuring items like shrimp tostados and a California burger, along with brunch items like the Sunrise Benedict and pancakes. For families, perhaps the best part is that kids under 12 eat free. Now mom and dad can enjoy elevated menu items while still spending time with the kids in this family-themed neighborhood. Probably heard several individuals talk about the size of Icon of the Seas. In fact, some people even call it monstrosity of the seas. And yes, with 20 decks and with over 40 restaurants, bars, and lounges, there's a lot on this ship. But don't let the size scare you. Having sailed on many Royal Caribbean's Quantum class and Oasis class ships, we actually personally enjoyed Icon of the Seas more. In fact, we think Icon of the Seas feels more spacious than those other class of ships, and even though it holds more cruisers, we never thought it was crowded or found any of the venues to be overly busy. Well, except for the Dueling Pianos Bar, which is definitely the busiest and most popular venue on the entire ship. In our opinion, felt more spacious overall than an Oasis class. The Royal Promenade is more open, and the reimagined neighborhoods help to disperse the crowds better. In particular, there are dedicated areas for adults, families, and teens, all with the amenities needed to stay all day. So you can carve out your own space without feeling like you're surrounded by 6,000 other guests. If you're like us, then you like your coffee. And on Icon of the Seas, if you have a Royal Caribbean drink package or want to use one of your diamond vouchers, you can get Starbucks drinks. You just need to know where. On Deck 5 of the Royal Promenade, there is a licensed Starbucks kiosk. Here, you can get frappuccinos, refreshers, espresso, cold brews, and other coffee-based drinks. But these drinks will cost you extra money. One deck above, there's the Pearl Cafe. The Pearl Cafe is open 24 hours a day and is your go-to spot for snacks and coffee. The drink menu also features espresso and coffee-based drinks, cold brew, teas, and frappuccinos. While the menu is not as extensive as the licensed Starbucks, the drinks at Pearl Cafe will not cost you extra money if you have a drink package. The Cafe Select coffee cards can also be used on these drinks. Of course, if you don't have a drink package, you'll pay a la carte for drinks at either of these locations. However, speaking of what's included and what's not included in the drink package on the Icon of the Seas, let's take a minute and talk about the milkshakes. As many Royal Caribbean cruisers probably know, Johnny Rocket's milkshakes are included on other ships in the fleet. However, Icon of the Seas does not have a Johnny Rockets. Instead, there's the deserted Milkshake Bar. Located in Thrill Island on Icon of the Seas, you might almost miss it amongst all the thrills. Whether the kiddos want a traditional milkshake or adults want to indulge on a boozy concoction, these will cost extra. They are not included in any drink packages, and prices range from $9 to $18 for milkshakes and $7 for floats. Our vote is to skip them as they look better than they taste. Plus, there's plenty of free soft serve ice cream out on the pool deck. Along with the other reimagined spaces on Icon of the Seas, there are also some differences when it comes to the traditional pool deck. This outdoor space now features 3 distinct neighborhoods: Chill Island, Thrill Island, and the Hideaway. And there are 7 total pools on the ship. This means there's always a pool to fit your vibe. In Chill Island, there's a Cloud 17 pool on Deck 17, which offers a more relaxed setting for all cruisers. The Deck 16 Swim and Tonic is another popular spot, and it's Royal Caribbean's first swim-up bar at sea. On Deck 15, there's the record-breaking Royal Bay Pool on the starboard side, and the secluded Cove Pool for those seeking some shade on the port side. Adults will want to check out the Hideaway. Overlooking the wake, this venue features the first suspended infinity pool at sea, along with signature cocktails and a beach club vibe. And families with little kids can access the Surfside Neighborhood's Water's Edge Pool on Deck 7, along with a separate splash pad and even a water feature for babies adjacent to this pool. We mentioned earlier that you want to make sure you make reservations for the shows either in the Royal Caribbean Cruise Planner or using the app. The app is also helpful for other things such as making dining reservations or completing your check-in. You'll want to keep an eye out on your app when it gets closer to your sailing date. The app will let you know when check-in opens, but usually it's around 45 days prior to your cruise. It's important to complete this check-in early to secure an early boarding time. After all, the earlier you board the ship, the sooner your vacation starts. The check-in process also entails inputting your personal information, uploading a security photo, linking a form of payment for onboard purchases, adding passport information, and signing the cruise contract. Once that is all complete, you'll be cruise ready and you'll be able to use the express lane on boarding day. Izumi is one of the most popular Royal Caribbean specialty restaurants. On Icon of the Seas, this venue has been relocated to Central Park with sushi and hibachi options. Like any specialty restaurant, Izumi requires reservations and has an associated fee to dine at the venue. However, one of our Icon of the Seas tips is that you can actually get sushi without a reservation at the brand new Izumi in the Park takeout window. The menu features grab-and-go items at a la carte prices that guests can enjoy anywhere, any time of day. So if you're in the mood for some sushi, but don't want to take the kids to a 2-hour sit-down dinner, this is the perfect compromise. Plus, we suggest you try one of the bubble cones too. They're amazing and a much better value than the deserted milkshakes. If you've already watched our Icon of the Seas review, then you probably already know I'm not a really big fan of the Crown's Edge. The Crown's Edge is Royal Caribbean's attempt at a ropes course on one of the ships. However, unlike the ropes course on NCL or Carnival, this activity is an upcharge. We will give Royal Caribbean that the Crown's Edge is more themed with adventurers needing to escape from Thrill Island than the competition. But the only real draw of this 90-second attraction is when the floor drops beneath you and you zipline over the edge of the ship. So we do think the price is a bit steep, even though the price dropped drastically since it initially launched at $89 per person. It was still $49 on our sailing for a sea day or $39 for a port day. If you really want to test out this attraction, we suggest you sign up in the app for a port day to save some money. Alternatively, you can also check your cruise planner for any sales and promotions pre-cruise, as some cruisers have recently reported even lower prices. While intelligent elevators have been a thing on land for a while now, they've only just begun popping up on cruise ships. When we heard that Icon of the Seas would have them, we were skeptical. Luckily, Icon of the Seas has plenty of large elevator banks, so there are never any issues requesting a ride up or down throughout the day. Even during busy times, like after a show or after dinner, the system had no issues finding space for everyone needing a lift. During our sailings, this process was quick and efficient, often giving us an express ride with few stops. So we'll take this as a win. As the newest and largest ship in the fleet, Icon of the Seas comes with a hefty price tag. Thus, it's even more important to book your Icon of the Seas cruise early to secure the best price. We typically book our cruises 8 months to a year in advance, though Royal Caribbean has Icon sailings open to book through April of 2026. So planning a trip for 1 or 2 years in the future is definitely possible. Of course, there's always the potential for last-minute deals, but we generally find that the price of a sailing only goes up over time. Now, Heidi and I are not travel agents, and that is why we've partnered with MEI Travel. They are the trusted travel partner of Eat, Sleep, Cruise. So if you need any help booking your next Icon of the Seas cruise or Royal Caribbean cruise in general, you can find our exclusive link to MEI Travel's latest deals and promotions in the description down below. Similar to the dining on Icon of the Seas, this ship debuted several new bars and lounges, and many of them have signature cocktails and entertainment that you don't want to miss. In fact, there are 10 completely new concepts for Royal Caribbean. Within the Royal Promenade, there's a 1400 lobby bar and dueling pianos bar. This lively dueling pianos is extremely popular, so be sure to arrive early if you want a chance at getting seats for a show. Some of our other favorite drinks can be found at the Lemon Post in the Surfside neighborhood and Rye and Bean in the Aqua Dome. There's also a walk-up champagne window and Lou's Jazz and Blues in Central Park, a frozen lime and coconut bar, and the tasty Overlook Spritz served at the Overlook Bar. This drink around the ship is going to take some strategy to accomplish. Regardless of your cabin selection, you should do several things on the first day of your cruise to organize your stateroom. We always recommend packing magnetic hooks to hang items like bags, hats, and coats. Another packable item we always take is an over-the-door shoe organizer. Here you can place accessories and toiletries like suntan lotion, sunglasses, jewelry, and small electronics to help you save valuable counter space. Also, you'll want to make sure you unpack your clothing. Packing cubes will make this task easy and organized, especially given the new metal baskets in the closets on Icon of the Seas. Then, with your bags unpacked, make sure to place your suitcase under the bed. That way, you have as much space as possible in your stateroom. Another item we always suggest is a cruise-approved power adapter for charging devices. However, Icon of the Seas does have quite a few outlets, including USB and USB-C, so it might not be necessary this trip. We're sure after watching this video, you're super excited to sail on Icon of the Seas, but before you do, you want to check out our Icon of the Seas ship tour and walkthrough. In that video, we go deck by deck through all 8 neighborhoods, sharing everything on board Icon of the Seas. That way, you're one step ahead of everyone else on board, and your Icon of the Seas cruise will be smooth sailing.